In this video, we are breaking down the top 10 regrets that you could have after moving to the Villages, Florida. And we are giving our thoughts on how to combat those so that you don't end up making a major mistake that's going to end up costing you time and money in the end. Hey everyone, I'm Angela and this is my husband Mark.
Hello everyone.
We purchased our house here over a year ago now.
Come on in everyone and welcome to our home.
And I've actually done other village videos in the past since our move-in. And these things are definitely the ones that we now know about that could be major mistakes that we're hoping we can help you from making. We also now understand why there is such a huge attraction to being in the Villages. I mean, you've got beautiful warm weather in the winters, friendly people, tons of activities to choose from, and the fact that you can get around to so many different places just by golf cart. If you're watching this video, then you have probably already heard of the Villages or are in the process of at least researching it for yourselves. And if you already live here and you're just curious as to what we're gonna say, you will still get a few gold nuggets of information you might not have known before. So let's start our countdown off with number 10, the noise level. The noise level is something you don't really realize, you don't think about until you get here and you go to a few of the places we've been to and you're like, whoa. For instance, some of the villas and neighborhoods, the new construction areas are kind of right along the turnpike. When we came for our second lifestyle visit, we were in a villa that was pretty close to the Water Lily Bridge. And there was a lot of traffic noise, even with the windows completely closed.
Those trucks don't stop a-trucking.
Yeah, and it's not like you're getting some great deal on picking a house that's near the highway.
Right.
There are premium lots on golf courses and lakes and so forth, but if you pick one next to the highway, you're not getting some discount. And there's hundreds of houses next to the highway.
Maybe you are from an area, you're from a big city. And you hear noise all the time. That probably wouldn't bother those people. Because you can't obviously move your house.
Or the highway.
You really need to investigate where the location of the house you're looking at is. If you're coming from a very rural area that's really quiet and you get yourself in a house next to the freeway,
It's going to be an adjustment.
Eventually
you might get used to it.
Yeah,
But
it could be
do
scary.
you want to force yourself to get used to it?
No. All right, number 9 is the restaurant food here.
This is a big one for me because I like eating out. I like good food. And I also like bigger portions. And I can say across the board in the Villages, the portion size is smaller.
It could be a major regret for you. Where we're from, like when you go out to eat, you're getting a good amount of food. And when we came here, it was like,
Oh, okay.
It's smaller. I don't
Right.
want to sound like a total pig, but
no,
do
he's
like,
not a total pig, but like he wants to enjoy his meal. And when you give him little bird-sized portions, he's not happy.
yeah, I don't like leaving the restaurant still a little bit hungry. And it's not like you're getting a discount on the price.
No, you're paying the same amount and you're not getting as much.
No.
How about the taste over all of the food? Now we're not food snobs.
Yeah, there's a lot of good restaurants in Michigan. It's not in the caliber of California or New York or Chicago.
Yeah.
Here, you've got to struggle to find a decent place. In fact, it took us a year to finally find a couple places that we look forward to going to. The rest, it was really more about just getting out and enjoying the experience of not having to clean your own dishes, make your own food.
But I mean, you've got a lot of okay food here. It's not bad. I don't want to paint that picture, but it's not like you think about that meal like I can't wait to go to that place again to get that meal.
Prima Italian Steakhouse is probably our favorite.
So now that the cat's out of the bag, we did tell him our favorite restaurant. That place now could be flooded. Now we're not getting in. Oh boy. I will also say I was so excited for that bakery to open in Brownwood, the cupcake place. I was thinking, if we wait all that time,
Over a year it took.
it really did. It took a long time. And it is
Horrible.
I'm going to be disappointed. But I'm telling you, I actually love the cupcakes. I used to be a baker, so I'm like very picky about that kind of stuff. And I'm going to say I like their stuff there. Very good. You need to try it out. So number 8 biggest regret was really not getting involved sooner than we did after we moved in. We moved in January. We really didn't start playing golf, going to classes, really doing a whole lot of stuff until October, I think, when we came back. And let me tell you, it totally changes your experience about being here, your perspective on your day, your week, how much fun you have overall. And really what goes along with the activities is the people. You're gonna meet more people that way by getting more involved, and that really makes it more fun too.
Yeah, because then it's more about the people than what you're doing. It's next thing you know, you're going to the town squares at night with other people, or you're going to boozy bingo with other people.
Yeah.
And it makes it more fun.
It does. To have that variation of like, okay, we're gonna have our nights where we do just the two of us, and then we're gonna have our nights where we go out with friends. It really creates and adds variety.
Definitely. You've probably heard stories too about moving into a new neighborhood versus an existing neighborhood. And it is easier to meet people if you're moving into a new neighborhood with new houses where all of your neighbors are new to the area. That's what we did, and it's true. We met a lot of people in our neighborhood, and we've stayed friends with them now for over a year, so
Yeah.
It's been great.
We had a conversation before we moved here. Do we go up towards Lake Sumter Landing? Because it's beautiful. Everyone likes Lake Sumter Landing. Do we come into a new area down in the south? But I'm glad that we ended up moving where we were because it was a new neighborhood situation. And for us, that made a big difference in getting involved with our neighbors and other people. Actually, talking about going to the squares and boozy bingo and driveway parties and all that kind of stuff, here's a regret we just recently rectified. You're gonna need some lawn chairs because in those situations, there have been plenty of times where we found we needed to bring chairs. And so we bought the cheapy chairs from Walmart. They're fine, okay? But they're not as comfortable. You felt cramped. You felt cramped in these chairs, but I'm like, they're a good deal. How much are we gonna really use them? Well, we have found out you're gonna use them a lot more than you think you are. So we just found these chairs that are awesome. They're the best chairs you can get for this kind of situation on Amazon. And they're wide, they're rockers, which is awesome. And they have a strap so you can carry them. It's very easy. They're a little heavier than the cheapy chairs, but they are well worth it. So if you haven't gotten your chairs yet, or you have the cheapy chairs like we first started out with, I'm gonna put a link down below to those chairs because they're a little pricey, but they are so worth it for the amount of times you're gonna use them.
Yeah, don't waste your money on the $10 chairs where you can feel the steel right into your thighs, and they're cheap. And
No,
you get what you pay for.
We're too old for that. We want comfort in our older ages. So they're probably looking at me thinking, are you even old enough to be here? He made the cut for us. So 2 more years to go for me. Number 7 regret that I really didn't know until I got down here, and I'm a big shopper, is not really having a lot of bigger box stores, even malls that are close like they were at home. For us, we either have to drive 25 minutes up to Lady Lake area, which is the northern part of the Villages, or 30 minutes to Ocala, or Mount Dora, which is like 40 minutes away. We're not used to that.
Heaven forbid Orlando, which is an
Oh.
hour away and usually lots of traffic.
Orlando traffic is scary, okay? We like to try to stay away from that. It's too much. For me, this is really important. And for you ladies, it may be as well, because I really don't want to have to drive a long way, or now you're looking at batching your trips, instead of like, oh, I kind of just feel like going shopping today, but gosh, I really don't want to drive all that way to go to the shopping. Having a channel where that's what I do a lot of the time, I have found ways to work around it. I shop on Amazon a lot while we're down here. I go to Walmart. I like Walmart. And once in a while, we'll both drive up together. We'll go to Home Depot, we'll do the Target run and stuff like that. It's not really that bad. It's what you get used to. Number 6 regret is a big one. It's the traffic.
It can be bad depending on the time of day. If you're in a golf cart, if you have to go somewhere in a golf cart though, you never have to worry about what time of day it is. It's never bad, and you get to wherever you're going no matter what.
Right. There's never a golf cart jam.
No, but it's gotten to the point now where when we want to leave the bubble, that I sometimes pull out the Waze app on my phone before I even leave the house to see if there's going to be traffic jams, because there are some main roads that you need to go on to get to places north of us, and they can be backed up, and you can be talking about, doubling the amount of time
for sure.
to get somewhere.
For sure. Just this past Saturday, we're like, okay, we're going to go to Ocala. I don't know what we were thinking. We got a little late a start.
20 minutes into it, we ended up turning around. It was just, everything was jammed to try to head north.
I have found I've adjusted my times. If I have to go way up on 301 to Walmart, let's say, I am not going if it's, say, around lunchtime and into the afternoon. 301 is a nightmare at that time, and I just don't want to even deal with that. So I've learned to go in the mornings. The traffic is way better. Yeah, usually.
There can be problems even on a typical morning that's past rush hour or before rush hour. If there's an accident or something,
there can always be problems any time of day, but for the most part, you just really learn to work around it. And if you can go somewhere in your golf cart rather than your car, take your golf cart. It's usually a beautiful day out there. You enjoy the weather. You don't have to wait in traffic, and you still get to go where you needed to go.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5, what they could regret is things shut down 9 o'clock here.
Which we don't really mind, because we tend to go to dinner like at 5:30. Maybe we go to the Brownwood Square after dinner, and we are home by 8:30, and we like it that way. But if people work for a living and they can't go out
they
until,
get a late start,
6:30 or something, things do shut down by 9.
Shut her down. That could be a problem.
When you're in the villages and somebody tells you that they pulled an all-nighter, what they really mean is they made it through the night without having to get up and go to the bathroom. Yeah, when we drive our golf cart home from Brownwood at 8:30, 8:45, the streets are just empty.
It's like everybody's just in their house at that point, like done for the day. You know what though? Everybody gets an early start here, it seems like, and then they shut it down earlier at nighttime.
Yeah, we've definitely shifted the way we get up earlier in the morning and the way we go to bed earlier than ever before.
Right. The funny thing too here, like back home, 5 o'clock, if you get somewhere at a restaurant at 5 o'clock for dinner, you're in, okay? Like there's no waiting. You beat the crowd. Here, you could be going out 2 or 3 o'clock and you still have a wait in the springtime when there's a lot of snowbirds out down here. So don't think you're gonna beat the crowd if you're there at 4. Regret number 4, there's no way to get around it. It's the heat. And if you already live somewhere in the South, you came from Texas or Alabama or whatever, you know what, it's not probably a big deal to you. But if you've come from a northern state where you're not used to that humidity in the summertime all the time, it's going to take a little adjustment.
Yeah, when you open that door and walk into the garage,
whoa,
it's 100 and I don't know what. 30. I have no idea what it is.
It's hot.
In there. It is hot.
Yeah.
And the humidity is 24 hours a day. So they say you get used to it. We have not yet. We
were here in July, this past July, for the month. That wasn't enough time to really get adjusted and probably used to it on a full-time basis, but it gave us enough idea of what we're dealing with here. And I love to go sit on our lanai. That's one of my favorite things, is to go out there and do my work, read a book. And in the summertime, I didn't even pull our lanai furniture out because it was so hot. I didn't want to sit out there. But since we've been down here this stint, we found some really great ideas.
I think if we were to build a house down here, I think we would get a lanai that's split in two, where one half is screened in and the other portion is glassed in with some type of an AC splitter, and be able to control that humidity. Otherwise, you don't want, like you said, you're not going to want to spend much time sitting outside.
Having that glassed in portion, at least a part of it, is really, we feel like that could be a great solution.
Yes.
Number 3, which really could be a
Huge.
regret, and it's something that we did and it worked out well for us, but we would never actually recommend it because it could go all kind of wrong, is buying your house on FaceTime. Or buying it sight unseen is what I mean.
Using FaceTime will give you a really good indication of what the house looks like on the inside, and even how it looks on the outside. But what it won't give you a good indication of is sight lines to power lines, potentially. Certainly the noise next to highways or major roads.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
It's huge.
Yeah.
The location, you really can't get an idea of how far away you are from different things by golf cart, car, or walking, unless you're really here. Or you do your research, you find maps online of where your little neighborhood is and really try to get an idea, but even that is different. And what about the neighbor situation? We're close. I mean, we're in a villa and we knew that. And our neighbors are very close to us. Even the houses, your neighbors are close. Yeah. And the noise just from people talking on their back lanai, you don't know about that kind of thing until you're here.
Or maybe dogs barking, you don't know if they got a louder dog than some.
Right, and you may never really know that, because if you're moving into a new neighborhood, how do you even know who your neighbors are? Part of it is just taking a chance. So that's just, I don't know if I would recommend that at all. Regret number 2 for you could be the storage situation in the houses or villas down here.
Yeah, I think if we had it to do over again, I would get the biggest garage that I could, given the lot size, at least for storage. And I think we might even consider an extra bedroom.
If you want one room to be a guest room,
maybe one room is an office.
Yeah, do that 3rd or 4th bedroom, because then you could set it up as an office and have a lot more storage in there as well.
Yes, because with this crazy heat, the attic storage, you could melt things up there, literally. So you're limited on what you could put in an attic.
Yeah, that extra bedroom, great idea. And also the closets in those bedrooms.
Yeah, maybe get something like a California closet or somebody similar to go in there and just put some shelves, some drawers, and just leave a smaller amount of room for things that hang.
Yeah, utilize that space a lot more, and you could put your little bins in there, stack things on shelves or whatever. And when you have guests come, they will still have a small area where they can hang their clothes, but you're living there a lot more than you would have a guest coming, right? So utilize that closet space in all those extra bedrooms. The number 1 regret that I think a lot of people could have, even us actually, is not having come here sooner. Now, I know that sounds a little bit corny, and we're going to explain this. And you may also be looking at us like, you guys are young. What the heck are you talking about?
Well, we were lucky. We did get down here sooner than a lot of people are able to. For most people that come to this community, I think they're going to regret not coming sooner. That's how much they're going to like it.
Yes. There's a lot of bad stuff that happened during COVID, but one good thing that came out of that situation was he started working from home. And that kind of made us sit and, talk about, gosh, we both do what we do from home, so why not go anywhere really to do that? And here's the thing too. A lot of people that live in the north and have to deal with the cold, gray days of winter all the time, doing this kind of thing is like the dream. That's like the end, where they want to end up being. And there are things usually that hinder that can't really be helped. So if you have a situation where you've got flexibility and it's really just the fear of like, I'm just not sure how it would go. Oh my gosh, I got to pack up the whole house, or like it's all the stuff in your mind. I'd say do it. We have zero regrets about making that decision to move here. And we've learned these things over time that we've helped to kind of find solutions for, but we definitely don't regret having to come to Florida.
No.
Now that we've covered the 10 biggest regrets that you could have after moving to the Villages, watch my short playlist of other Village videos I've done right here. I share when we purchased our house in the Villages, how we decorated our house and where we found our furniture, and also things to know before you come visit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.